And good Thursday afternoon, curling fans. This is the Utica Curling Channel. I'm Roger Latt, and I'll be joined this afternoon by Michelle McEnroe. And we'll be bringing you the third draw of the U.S. Women's Curling Association National Bonspiel. Our feature game is on sheet 3 this afternoon. And we'll pit Charlotte. They'll be throwing the Red Rocks. Skip by Jen Mogavero. Third, Stacy Pinavaya. Second, Allie Athens. And lead Ann Pfeiffer. And they'll be going up against St. Paul. They'll be playing the Blue Rocks. Sally Augustin and Skip. Jody Siegel throwing third. Sandy Bromanschinkel at second. Nancy Powers at lead. And it looks like St. Paul has won the toss and will have the last rock here in the first end. And we're underway here in our 2 p.m. draw. Looks like the ice might be a tad slower than it was in the first 2 draws, at least this end. A few stones short of the rings.
Well, Roger, it's been a while since I've got to join you on a webcast.
Yes, indeed. Glad to have you in the booth.
And let's hope we can actually talk in complete sentences, unlike when we're in the house, where each of us has a half a sentence that put together seems to make a full one.
Various guttural sounds during the sweep calls, right?
It was actually nice to be calling a game with the team from St. Paul, as that's where I played at this event about 10 years ago.
Had a couple of really good games this morning. The scores were a bit lopsided, but they didn't quite reflect the closeness of the games early. Looking forward to another good one here. One of our newer Southeast clubs in Charlotte. First is probably a very long established and large one in St. Paul.
Oh yes, their club. I have not been able to visit Charlotte yet, but I can tell you that St. Paul is absolutely beautiful. 8 sheets. Locker room, it's all burnished wood, polished wood, just very, very beautiful. It looks like St. Paul wants to, they've got a rock in the forefoot, looks like, back 4, and they're wanting to protect it. I think this one might have come a little deep. It's not the best angles, I think.
Trying to get it underneath there, maybe sit too buried, but looks like Charlotte will be able to remove at least one stone here. This one's got a curl a ton.
Yeah, she might have gotten a little full, unfortunately, and this ice will not, as I can testify. You get a little full with this ice,
it will run.
It will run, especially with weight. Draw weight, it will come back, but a little up weight, it will not. like the call is for a guard. Kind of an unusual a little reversal strategy, generally with hammer, right? They did win hammer, yeah.
They did.
They did, but they got one in. They got one in.
They
so
got 2 on the 4, so
protect away.
worth covering.
There's room.
There's a teeny tiny port.
You throw this, I think, with bumper, and you should get through there pretty well.
Just make sure you move a guard.
You got to hit something. This rock is beginning to move.
Looks really good.
Looks good.
Through the hole.
Yep. Oh, she might have the double here. Not quite.
Over curl just a tad.
It's unfortunate that their shooter had to roll open because the blue rock is still under cover.
But St. Paul's only sitting 1.
So the situation definitely has improved, at least from the Charlotte perspective.
Hit and roll under is available here, though, for St. Paul. Nice weight on this one.
And here it goes. It's breaking very nicely. A little more, though. Oh, that is lovely.
That's golden. Might need to peel that blue. Those rocks are bunched on the 4-foot.
It's a tough situation. You're trying to steal, and you're getting caught peeling. So you're probably looking at best outcome. Would you say a force?
Best outcome might be give up 2 here, but we'd love to get a force. You got a little wide on that one, and that's going to roll to a staggered guard.
So what is your comment when you're in this position and it's sort of like, well, gee, you know, we're trying to steal, but let's come around.
And St. Paul with a chance to dump another one in.
Not sure that has the legs to get very far.
And it's a little tight.
That was just maybe that was a 2.5, not quite a 3, I think. I believe there is a draw to the intern side. You can probably get side 4 with the in.
You got to shave the guard if you do it.
It's the only way to go, I think. You don't want to come toward the tighter guard because you'll probably, with the out, you'll probably wreck. I would think.
Well, you might be able to freeze, even if you freeze for second shot here would be a pretty good outcome.
Yep, you could get there.
Should be enough curl. If you paper the high blue guard, I think you can get in. You might even get to the inside here.
It's possible.
Jen Mogavero, skip for Charlotte. Trying to freeze to shot rock here.
Oh dear. I think she's a little light, maybe.
And got out into the wide straight area too.
Into the tall grass, as we like to say around here. Well, they got it pretty far. They may have a... Nope, not quite.
Curled up late.
It's a good line. They did promise.
St. Paul's got 2 locked in so far. Looking to throw this really wide out-turn draw.
We'll see a couple of rocks down this path, I believe. So it's probably still going to be a tad sticky.
I think this one will go off the sheet. Oh, it's hanging up.
It's
Not yet.
It's almost. It's not going to. She might. If she got the legs, it might have a piece of the edge here. I believe that it does. It's a heck of a throw, though.
Just hanging on to the 12-foot to sit 3.
Well, I will say that that yellow that the Charlotte skip just called looks a little familiar to me. It could be a nice little in-off.
It does. I think mine was a little higher.
It was, yeah. It was another foot and a half, couple feet, I think.
I think there is a draw path here. You're just going to try to tighten up the ice a little bit.
Yeah.
And just try to draw. At least cut down that stone on the outer 12.
And if it hangs a touch and the weight is close, you do have the tick. If you're desperate for a B plan. My stopwatch is at home with the rest of my curling equipment, but I do have my phone. So I can at least get some running times. And
I was running about 25.5 today, about 15 hog to hog. Pretty quick.
Might have got a late click on that.
Last rock first end here for Jen Mogavero. One more to come. This needs to finish. Should go hard inside the hog line.
That's a 13-2 on the outside. Oh dear.
So it's a little stiff this first end.
And she's also out in the tog runs,
Yep.
which is never helpful.
And the 13-2 would usually be through the house weight. So chance for St. Paul now to draw for 4. They just saw this line.
Yes, we did.
They need to sweep to get it by.
It's a 13.
And they got it by, and it's going to be good.
That's a very lovely draw. T-line, blow back.
It's a big score for 4 in the first end for St. Paul. 2 lovely draws by Sally Augustin, the skip.
So as a skip, this early in the game, would you also go defense? I would go defensive here. Up 4 early?
Well, you got 10 ends to play, so you can't go super defensive. I wouldn't be throwing any guards.
Right. Closer in.
Come to top 4. Let the other team figure out how to get a deuce. Can't go completely in your shell until the rule I learned was there need to be fewer ends to play than points you're up.
Oh, that's a great mnemonic to remember. I
Yeah.
like that.
That's a Russ Howardism. He's a pretty smart curler, I've heard.
Yeah, he knows a few things.
Yep. Just for those of you who are just tuning in, this is the USWCA, which is the U.S. Women's Curling Association National Bonspiel. These are 10-end games. So plenty of time to go here in this one.
If you are going to give up these types of ends, and no one likes to, better early than late. Like you say, you've got more time to get things under control.
Well, that's the old line. If you're going to give a big end, do it early. Give yourself time to claw back in. Don't have to get it back all at once.
What's the saying? Patience is a virtue, and I want it now.
Exactly. Just need to play a few ends of good math. 2-1, 2-1. Get yourself back in the game.
Get those cricket numbers going. That's 14-3 hog to hog, so it's starting to pick up a little bit.
This is the third draw
Yep.
on this scrape, so it might be a tad slower for this game.
This is looking nice, but it does look like it needs to stop. I got about a 12-7. Might have hit that late.
Yep, that's true.
Yep, that's 12-7 is probably close.
So I think right now draw weight's probably going to be around 13.5. And for those of you listening, have no idea what we're talking about. We're talking about the time for the rocks to go between the hog lines. It's a pretty commonly used measure for the ice speed.
That's a 12-6. That sounds right. Okay, good. As a skip, I do that. It keeps my brain engaged. So while we got this second skip coming, the second stone coming around, we can give you an update on the rest of our games we have out on this third draw at the USWCA Women's National. Looks like Cape Cod 2 is up 2-0 over Centerville after one end. Detroit number 1 is up 1-0 over Composite, Wisconsin. You're watching St. Paul up 4 over Charlotte. Sheet 4, Utica 2 is up 2-0 over Chicago. Cape Cod is up 1-0 over Nutmeg number 1. And Mayfield is up 2-0 over Rochester on sheet 6. And on sheet 3, we've got a corner raise coming. Or split, which is, oh, very nice.
And rolled the raised rock to the pin.
And what you like to say, a friendly little biter on the outer 12.
Yeah, a little flip out there. So a really good start there for Charlotte. The sheets 1 through 4 in this draw are all A event games, completing the first round of games in A event. Games on sheets 5 and 6 are B event games.
So is their second game today?
This will be their second game
my.
today. Poor souls.
They got extra.
They were here at 8 a.m. and they're going to get to do it again this afternoon.
Oh, they're already warmed up. I think any of us who have curled for any length of time have enjoyed, and I use that term loosely, those multi-day game draws.
Probably means they'll have a light day tomorrow.
It should. They certainly, if it comes off that blue, they're going to have a guard out of this. And they do.
Pretty tough to get to that yellow on the pin. It's a little overburied, at least not to push it back.
But you can cut the scoring down.
You can definitely draw to it.
It's trying to come down a little here. Looks really nice here.
Mine looks superb. They're going to get a little tap on this. Going to bounce in the open.
This is a pretty precise hit here. You get outside, you're going to crack the outer guard here.
It is in the middle of the port, though. Just want to roll somewhere.
Yeah, I'd say what, half rock? 3/4? Half rock.
Yeah, thick half. Roll in or away, one or the other. That looks like a lot of weight.
Oh dear.
Don't know if that's coming back. Just they straighten out if you apply any weight to these.
Rolled a little too far. The shooter rolls just maybe half rock less. You get a run back right onto that blue. I always think those are fun shots.
Yeah, they're lined up pretty good there to go right down the center line.
Actually, those two blues are lined up decently to go into that yellow, if it comes to that.
Line on this looks pretty good.
Looks very nice. Weight's a little light. It's all right. It's a good spot.
Tough to double off.
And you can't be at all outside on this shot.
And it can't be high. Got to get inside roll here.
Just go for hack weight.
Well, St. Paul could tap that up again.
The only challenge is you will open up a rock that you can in off. Looks like she's now throwing a lot of weight at this. With that broom, I'd say hackish.
I think they're just throwing a tap up. I don't think they're going to play a angle raise run back.
Well, I don't know if they're sure. I can't tell who's sitting one. But I would guess from my angle, it looks like possibly yellow. So they do want to move it, if only a couple of inches.
I'm not so sure blue isn't shot, but it's certainly close.
Yeah, we're kind of looking at it kind of flat, and I'm short, so I have a really flat angle.
Yeah, this is wide and really heavy.
Yeah, I think this is more weight than they were looking for. very interesting because when I went to this event, like I said 10 years ago, it was probably the first time I was ever on the clock. The good news, it was never a problem.
Yeah, these games are all timed. 38 minutes of thinking time.
I think when I was 10 years ago, it would have been running time. It
Right.
would not have been thinking time. That would have been, what, 74 minutes?
I think so. Yep, that sounds right.
And of course, with running time, in a way, you're almost penalized for the jogging.
Yep, you throw a lot of rocks in play.
They
took
take
a lot
longer.
longer.
Yeah,
Takes
they
a
take
lot
longer to get down the ice.
All right, Jen Mogavero would like to get to the inside of this blue. Do not want to hit this high side.
Bye is better than hitting it high side. Uh-oh.
Again, just a little too much weight and maybe just a little bit on the outside, and they're just running.
You could have probably taken a little less room, maybe use your broom, bring your sweepers, which is nice with this ice. You can bring your sweepers into play with the higher weights and tighter ice.
I'm going to try this little tap up again.
This line looks a little tight, I think. I believe they're on their guard here.
Really close. Just rubs. Now it depends on who shot. If yellow shot, there's just an open draw for two.
If yellow, yep, open draw for two.
And it looks like Charlotte thinks they're already shot rock.
Yep, she looks like, that looks like the motion for a draw, yep. Of course, if she comes down with a hit, we'll be proven wrong.
And you probably can't come to your own. I think if you tap their Yellowstone, it may no longer be shot. So this is just a cold draw to the 4 foot, and they need full 4.
At least I would say half 4 or better to be safe. So not a lot of margin of error here in this shot.
Need to be solidly in the 4 foot. Last stone, second end. Jen Mogavero trying to draw for a second. Needs to curl.
It's trying very hard.
It's coming up. It's gonna nick the stone on the top.
Weight looked pretty good. Sweepers just could not go on it.
I'll take a second look. Like a single for Charlotte.
They are on the board.
After 2 ends of play, St. Paul leads Charlotte 4-1. And St. Paul, playing the Blue Rocks, will have the last rock advantage here in the third end. And Pfeiffer leading off for Charlotte. One of our relatively newer Southeast curling clubs. Ann is from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Doesn't say how long she's curled, but she enjoys travel and brews beer. Oh, that's a good person to know. And
definitely at all your parties.
Yeah, there you go. And she'd like to say hello to Neil and Hobbs. Lead for St. Paul is Nancy Powers, throwing her rock now. They, of course, curl out of the St. Paul Curling Club.
Oh, by the way, across from St. Paul Curling Club is an amazing cupcake shop. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure those who are listening know exactly the one I mean. Once we found that shop, our days were numbered.
There you go, carb loading before the game.
And after.
So Nancy is from Coon Rapids, Minnesota. She's been curling for 35 years. Well, she probably knows a lot about curling. And when she's not curling, she likes to watch her boys play summer sports and likes to do hiking and biking. Says hello to brother Jim in San Antonio.
And we've got a draw two as our lead second shot here for Charlotte. And the sweepers are working this all the way down, coast to coast here. And they did a fine job. Oh, it was lovely.
Right on the corner.
Yep, sweepers did a great job. We like to call it here a team shot. Thrower threw it to the sweepers. Sweepers got it where it needed to be. Like we're going to have a draw fest over here at the back of the house.
And that one over curled.
And a little light. It did not quite make the house. It's about a foot out, not quite a foot out. But however, St. Paul does have hammer.
Yeah, it's tough to steal out here on the edge.
Right, so there's a corner guard up for the hammer team.
This is more an attempt to prevent St. Paul from getting a deuce easily. This is Allie Athens for Charlotte. She lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. Been curling for 4 years. When asked what she does when she's not curling, she says nap. That's spoken like a true front ender, right? Sweeping their brains out.
A front ender or a parent, either one.
Either one. Likes to play board games, watercolor paint, and read. She says hello to Jordan, Phoebe, Griffey, and Hanky.
That's what I get to do when I come home from work nowadays, since I'm not spending all my time at work. I get to come home when I'm not curling. I'm also napping. Hey, I understand this. We're definitely having a draw fest here around the corner.
Yeah, we're going to just keep stacking them over here.
This one does need to move a little bit.
This one's going to rearrange the furniture a little bit.
Oh, it's coming up to me. Oh, it's really looking nice.
It's looking really good. Oh, it got some great angles there. Okay. Move those yellows off to the side. It was thrown by Sandy Bromenschinkel. She's actually a sub on this team last minute for Nancy Melby. who is unfortunately attending to a medical emergency. Oh, that's,
I did. I heard about that when I was taking team photos last night. That's, wow. Holy cow.
hope Nancy is doing better. So Sandy is from the Itasca Curling Club, also St. Paul and Duluth Curling Clubs. Oh, this is a person who likes to curl.
You know, when you can, if you know, you get different.
It's nice to have that many curling clubs available in the same area.
Embarrassment of wealth, in a way.
From Deer River, Minnesota, has been curling 39 years and likes to travel. Yeah, me too. Says hello to husband Jeff, family, and friends in northern Minnesota, where it was minus 35 degrees this morning.
I have actually been to northern Minnesota in March. I got the opportunity to curl at Bemidji Curling Club. And that was actually a charity curling thing. It was a fun time.
Isn't March the season in Minnesota part of that really long season called Not Winter or Winter?
It was still winter.
Before the Not Winter, right? The 1 month is not winter.
It's still, I guess it would be kind of winter. It was actually really fascinating because Bemidji, if I remember correctly, they call it the headwaters of the Mississippi. And it was still frozen. I think there was still ice fishing in the beginning of March. And it's unfortunately the closest airport that's, well, affordable for the likes of folks like me is Minneapolis. So you go to rent a car and get in the car, and 4 hours later, 3-4 hours later, you're in Bemidji. Well, nudged it mostly off of the forefoot. Unfortunately, it is behind that long corner guard.
That one didn't want to go.
We call that in our league play in this club, if you do not make it across, you're asked to feed the pig at the table. And my sweepers get them just across, and I say, thanks, you saved me the quarter.
I like to pay in advance. That way I've got 4 in the bank.
4? Only 4?
Yeah, 25. Well, I do the installment plan.
I usually drop a little more in the pig than that. Guard is now not a problem anymore. We've removed that. Well, that was not the original call. Still, as a B plan, not so bad. And looking for one at the top of the house here. To be honest, I don't remember there being 10-end games, and they could have been. It's just, it's 10 years ago.
Yeah, they've always been 10 ends. They did, I think, 8 ends in Chicago in 2019 is my recollection, just from reading the website.
I don't remember. I know there are a couple of games that really did not go our way, so I think we got to 6 ends, and that was all.
I would have thought St. Paul would have split the house there. That blue rock was pretty well positioned.
Yeah, it wasn't going to go very many places.
Could have gone around the other corner.
However, looking at the positions of the rocks in the house, that back blue rock is really not going anywhere now.
Nope.
Even if you could cross, even if you could cross and double it, you're probably not. It's
probably going to hang around. I think still got to move one.
Absolutely. And actually, nose wouldn't be bad. It would make the yellow rock kind of difficult to remove. Roll off of this rock. You're either rolling off under the wings, or or you're rolling open. So nose is probably not bad here.
Yeah, nose looks pretty good. At least you'll unlock the back blue.
Right.
Probably spin it to the back 8.
Yep, you won't be shot, but you will be hard to remove. And if there's anything that playing mixed doubles has taught me, it's some days it's not about scoring, but what's your phrase? Keeping the damage to a minimum.
Yes. Limit the damage. Well, mixed doubles is a quick way to learn how quickly things can go off the rails and how soon you should make the decision to stop going off the rails, because there's only 5 rocks, and
Let's see how spectacularly you can go off the
oh yeah,
rails.
it can go badly very quickly. All right, Jen Mogavero with her first, trying to rearrange these blue rocks a little bit.
It's moving nicely. Needs to move a little more.
This looks like a pretty good
There we
shot.
go. There it is.
Pretty good.
There you go. That's nice.
She's second rock. It'll be tough to get out. Tough to get out and keep your shooter.
Be able to push it to the outer 12 and roll into the back 8 on the other side and
right.
let it go, I think would be the...
With down weight.
No, they're drawing to it. That is, I'm looking up at our, we have monitors at both ends of the house. I'm sure you can see in our webcast, there's a monitor at the far end that the teams can look at, so they know what's going on. And we have monitors above our booth here where we can see the far end, and I have a much better... Roger has to lean, I just have to look. And I saw the skip motion per room right next to the inside of the second counter, and that's the call. The sweepers like the weight. Well, they did. Now they don't like it. They're really working it.
Yeah, it's checking up hard.
Yeah, they're going to have 8 foot here at least. This looks really good. Oh, yes. Just where she wanted it. It is second shot.
Pretty much where she put the broom,
yep.
Right? Before she called the shot.
Exactly so.
Beautiful draw by Sally Augustin.
And the third and the skip are having a discussion on should we tap up our yellow or should we just do a straight draw to the backer. And while they can have this discussion as these games are timed, these discussions by necessity hopefully will be brief.
Tough call here. You've kind of got 3 choices. You can play an in-turn draw, which looks very difficult. You could try the run double. Or you could try to tap up your yellow.
Well,
sometimes that much choice is not a good thing.
Problem is you're sitting 3rd and 5th. And the other team is sitting 1, 2, 4. I would prefer to get one in.
I like the tap up. You've got a lot of tolerance on that shot. You've got a couple catchers in the back. And if you ever tap it just right, it might be very hard to remove.
I believe she's going for the tap.
Yep. Got to catch probably about 2/3 of the rock here.
Oh, it's over curling. They need to go hard. It is over curling.
If you just nick it a hair.
Oh, well done.
That
just
worked.
Like I said, nick it a hair. It's in jail there.
And it's shot.
It is.
What an outstanding shot.
I throw that shot, I somehow find the hole and I go all the way through. But she made it very well.
And she caught it very thin, and I think got a little bit of drag because of that. And it went a little more straight back than you would have expected. And
Kind
just
of the opposite gearing action.
Yeah, it just locked solid onto shot stone. So now the scoring area for St. Paul is just going to be the pin.
Yep, pretty much. And they're anticipating about three and a half, yeah, not quite 4 feet of curling.
Well, last time she put the rock exactly where she tapped the broom, so
I wish I could do that.
we'll see if she can repeat that feat here. Last draw, third end for St. Paul. Sally Augustin trying to draw the pin here and score her single. Line looks really good.
Line is closing very fast on the top blue here. She's on the top blue from what I see.
Yeah, it's going to wreck. Just over curled. And they didn't get by the outside guard by very much.
No.
Not sure they could have made that much better. The weight was perfect. There may not have been a draw path to the pin from that side with that high corner guard. So it's going to be a steal of one. They get Charlotte a little bit back in the game here after 3 ends of play. They only trail by 2 now.
A few more ends of that, and it's a new ball game.
So
as we say.
Yeah, so St. Paul with the Blue Rocks, they'll have the hammer here again in the 4th end.
So we might as well take this moment between ends to update you on the other sheets of action that we have going here at the USWCA Women's National Bonspiel. On sheet 1, we have Cape Cod number 2 up 4-0 after 3 ends over Centerville. On sheet 2, we have Detroit number 1 up 4-1 over Composite, Wisconsin. You're watching sheet 3, which is St. Paul 4, Charlotte 2 after 3. On sheet 4, we have a bit of a barn burner there. Utica 2 and Chicago are tied 2-all after 3 ends. On sheet 5, Nutmeg number 1 is up 4-1 over Cape Cod. Number 1, I assume, because Cape Cod number 2 is over on sheet 1. And on sheet 6, Rochester is up 5-2 over Mayfield.
That brings you up to date across the rink.
And Ann from Charlotte threw a lovely center guard to get this end off to a good start for the team trying to steal. And St. Paul thinks this rock is a little bit heavy, and they are correct.
It is a whizzer.
It's we have a nickname for that here at Utica Curling Club, called it a drive-through. I'd like a Coke, a burger, and a large fry with that. It goes right on through the rings. And I'm sure every curling club has their own names for different shots and different happenings. That guard, which was probably expected to be a little deeper, but the path looked really nice. So as a skip, that's something you'd like to remember. You might need that later in the game.
Yep, looked like the path to the pin.
This weight here looks a lot better. The line, however, looks like it's collapsing here on that center guard. Oh, sure. They just whiskered that by. I love throwing him, and I hate seeing him against me.
overburied by a mile.
Actually, I should say that's a vice skip. I think she's throwing lead rocks today. Which is always fun in curling because just because you're throwing doesn't matter what stones you're throwing. You can be acting as any position. Okay, we're going to open that up so we can get the shot rock. One of my favorite permutations is throwing third rocks and skipping, aka the Randy Furby style.
I think that's the ultimate cop-out.
I love it.
Here, you throw the last two.
I love it because I get to be the boss and somebody else gets to throw those last rocks. It's great.
Yeah, what would you like to throw? No, you're not getting that. I'm getting something else.
I'm still the boss. You got to do what I want. That's right. These rocks are taking a much different line than one we've seen. They're tending to peak on their curl arc very early and really falling inside.
Yeah, the break point seems a bit early, so there's either a little tilt to the sheet or
just how they're being released.
Maybe not enough rotation.
She's calling for a hack weight. I mean, this skip understands that this ice is not horribly forgiving of big weight. She understands that the lighter weights will get the job done and probably better. Be able to control them a little bit.
And you can only see about 3/4 of the stone,
So you'll want it later.
Yeah, and that's just way too much.
Yep.
It'll never come back.
Yep, that was solid bumper.
And one of the things I tell our new skips at the club and our college kids who are actually prepping now for nationals is that the big difference between winning and losing teams is throwing those intermediate weights.
Oh, it is difficult.
Those are the keys to throwing winning shots. Getting a little curl so you can move rocks around inside the house or take them out even.
Get to them even.
Yeah, is really a key to expanding your shot repertoire and the potential things you can do.
This looks really nice. This should break pretty hard here if the weight's close.
Yeah, it's coming up real nice. That side's a little bit straighter, and that's usually been the curly side of the sheet, so I'm a little surprised. Those of us who curl here a lot are kind of looking at the ice and going, wait a minute, it's not doing what I'm used to seeing.
Wait a minute, you're asking to remember from like 5 days ago? Oh my God, was that the curly side?
You don't have the like photographic skip memory that some of our skips have?
There's no film in that camera. Well, I wasn't skipping, I was vicing.
Oh, that's true.
You were skipping, you needed you need the film. Yeah, it was a curly side.
It's kind of backwards because the side that was straight is now curling pretty hard. This one's not going to move at all. That was quite heavy.
But that's more of a hack waiter though.
Yep.
So, and now that's what you observe and you say, okay, good to know, file it away. If we need it, now we know what it does. I have to remember tomorrow I can get one of his flatbread pizzas for lunch.
Those were good. Now my hands got pretty sticky. All that balsamic vinegar.
Well, tomorrow I've got quite a few hats on this weekend. This one looks, it's got some more legs. This will be great. Oh, that is nice. That's edge on edge. A little more than that actually.
Cuts off that draw path pretty well.
St. Paul's sitting 3 right now and really good rock positioning here.
And Charlotte's in a bit of trouble this end. Need to get to nose here. Can't throw it out. A little inside out on the release.
Just very, very heavy.
Going to catch a little piece. I don't know if it's going to remove anything from play.
But it might be something to draw to as a bailout shot.
St. Paul's actually in very good position here. It's hard to get underneath any of those rocks. Looks like they're looking at the tap up on this right-hand side of the sheet as you come down.
This is definitely an up-down kind of rock. Not sure it's got the weight to get there.
It's going to be just over the hog.
But it's still not bad. It makes removing that rock, aside from that long run back, kind of impossible.
Jen Mogavero looking to come around this stone in the top 12.
It looks a little light. Oh, that side's got some good curl too. That really came off.
So trouble brewing in River City here for Charlotte. St. Paul sitting 3 already with last rock. And Sally Augustin has been deadly with her draws so far.
Above tee. Don't want to give Charlotte an out.
Just tuck it under. That is lovely.
Note to self, do not leave their skip a draw.
This is really critical now for Charlotte. They need to tuck this under in the 8-foot. I need to count out at least some of these St. Paul stones, at least 2.
And it should, you may be able to get
I think you can get shot.
To the 4. I think you get edge to the 4 from this angle.
You should be able to get shot here.
Oh yeah.
Just need full 8. ice, indicating that Jen was maybe a little on the wide side there.
But it's going to check up hard in that tall grass. You need to get it there no matter what. Even if your line isn't good, you do need to. And they are really working it.
The line would have been pretty good. It just didn't have the weight.
That's unfortunate.
And so Sally have nothing to do with that yellow rock. She's going to go opposite side where she just threw this draw. And trying to drop this in for a mittful. Sally Augustine with her last here in the fourth end. Just needs paint.
It's losing its handle. Looks like it switched handles and went the other way.
Might have grabbed something there. So it's only 4. But 4 is a pretty big number. And then St. Paul grabs an 8-2 lead after 4 ends of play. So Charlotte will have their chance in the 5th, as they'll have the yellow rocks and the last rock advantage. That might be the first shot that Sally's missed this game.
I think so.
I think she's certainly been the star so far. She's also curls out of the St. Paul Curling Club and lives in Shoreville, Minnesota. Curled for 49 years. That might account for why she's got such great draw weight.
Yeah, she's done it a few times.
Done it a few times, yeah. I bet she's thrown 10,000 rocks. Still actively working as an interior painter. Likes to bike, hike, and play bocce. That's a good sport for curlers in the off-season.
Yep.
And entertaining their 7-year-old granddaughter. Likes to do that too. Says hello to husband Ralph, daughter Hannah, who lives in Austria and curls for Austria. How about that?
That's a neat connection. I wonder if we're gonna get
that might explain why we curled against them in, they were in Inverness when we were at the Highland Week. Cool. Didn't know that. Or have forgotten it. You never know which.
Wait, you're the skip with the photographic.
That's right. Remember, skips have to have short memories. They just have to be longer than the game.
You have to have selective memory, I think it is, right? Remember what you did right.
That's right.
Forget what you did wrong, because heaven knows you don't do anything wrong.
Jen Mogavero's got some work to do this end, but she does have the last rock advantage. Jen is, of course, curls out of Charlotte as well and lives in Charlotte. She's been curling for 7 years. She likes travel, dining out, and reading. I can get down on that.
Oh, yeah.
She says hello to Frank, Nigel, and Keith. And we'll introduce the thirds later in this end. Certainly, I think these North Carolina clubs, Charlotte and Triangle, are two of the most enthusiastic curling spots in the country right now.
Palmetto is South Carolina.
And they're South Carolina.
And I think Atlanta's just Peachtree.
No, there's actually 2 clubs in Atlanta, so Peachtree is one of them. Yeah, curling is a hot commodity down south. We've been down to Triangle a few times, and a very friendly place and a great place to curl. The only thing weird about curling in North Carolina is it's warm out when you go into the rink.
I've curled in Cape Cod in the summer, so yeah. It was like 90 degrees and we're making ice.
And we make a pilgrimage down there every year for the mixed doubles event, which is a wonderful event. And you shouldn't go there because we don't want it to fill up. We want to be able to get in. So don't go.
Hang on, let me make a note.
Yeah, you won't have any fun. The curling isn't great. The people aren't friendly, so just don't bother. But seriously, it's a great event, and we go down there every year. And it's nice and warm in October, so usually around Halloween.
Yes. Yeah, I remember watching you guys on their feed. I know, what was I doing inside on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I couldn't tell you? We'll pretend that I already finished my outdoor duties for the year. We'll pretend. Well, St. Paul's got one in the 4 foot, just above T line, behind those 2 center guards. And those 2 center guards are overlapping, so they're not really going to help out Charlotte a whole lot.
And they just stuffed another one, so.
Oh, yes, they did.
St. Paul has got their draw weight mojo today. And this is frustrating as a skip. You get your guards up and they beat you around to the 4 foot twice, and your guards get overlapped when you come up short, and now you're trying to figure out how to score.
Well, looks like she's tight on the broom here. I think Jen is thinking about a B plan right about now.
Looks like it'll go out to the wing.
Hopefully going to open something up. Yeah, very nice.
Well, that improves things.
Yes, it does.
And you got a couple of corners in play. And shot stones are exposed.
And your own stones are not overlapping, so they can be used to run in.
Yep. So a lot better.
And that's another thing is, as a skip, explaining to newer curlers, you know, if they don't see their rock on the pin, if they don't see it perfect, they think it's all bad. And you know me, I'm trying to find, you know, something positive to say, and something like that is technically actually, if you don't get what you want, that's a great B plan because of all the reasons we stated.
Well, at least trying to make things a little better, right?
Right.
So
let's get access to those rocks. Let's give ourselves an opportunity to make something happen.
And so that over-curling guard, they've got a chance here to move some blue rocks.
It's got to come off of that yellow guard, though. She's just by that yellow guard.
Just skinnied that guard.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's really unlucky that they nicked that top blue.
There's a skip, you're hoping that comes up another quarter rock and you know you'll have it. And then it just does not. And then you're just like, oh. We call those the tweeners. It's not what you wanted and it's not as good as you got.
Somewhere between plan A and B, so plan A and a half.
It's never good.
Not good.
The half plans are never good. But both rocks are exposed, interestingly enough, in between the yellow guards. That blue rock overfilled. Both rocks are exposed. The one that Jen is standing behind is shot rock. That is the one that was original rock, the first rock of the end, I believe, was thrown. It's just on the 2 line.
So you need to move this with back rings weight. And just getting caught a little heavy on these intermediate weights and a little bit wide.
But she's
got an
gonna
angle.
get it the other way.
Got the angle raised.
Oh yeah, bring it behind that. Oh, all right.
So there's a plan B that worked out.
And that's probably the hardest part about teaching skipping. It's finding those when things aren't going your way. How do you make something out of nothing? And
That was a quick switch up by Jen to
figure that out and go with it.
Look for the angle raise and get the right angle there.
I had the good fortune when I was a very, very new skip I started skipping my 3rd year, which means I've been skipping 20 years, which is way too long. I'm curling with one of our curlers here. She's in this event, and she was a master of B plans. Oh, if that had touched the rock in the house, that does not go out. Instead, it goes right on by. It is out.
So now a chance to run this bluestone off and sit 2. Got to come through the little port.
You need a little bit of weight here. You need to keep this a little bit straight.
This is Stacy Pinavaya, 3rd for Charlotte. Another Charlotte native. She's going to get the angle raise again? Nope, not this time.
Nope, it's running straight there again.
She's been curling 18 years. Loves traveling, fishing, and hanging out with her dogs. Says hello to Tom, Hammer, and McKellen.
I'm thinking one of those at least is her. I'm going to guess Hammer and McKellen might be her dog.
Yep. Well.
McKellen, maybe.
McKellen could be Scotch whiskey, too. So
I
never
know. It could, well,
yeah.
How else would you name your dogs, right?
That's right. Especially for a curler.
Oh, yeah. I named my cats after TV characters, so there you go. TV and book characters.
And to complete our Meet the Teams, our 3rd for St. Paul is Jody Siegel. Out of Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Wait, we did that already, didn't we?
No, we did not do
Oh,
Jody.
there are 2 of them from Coon Rapids. I didn't see that.
Oh,
we did
okay.
Nancy Powers. So they're both from Coon Rapids. They must know each other. Maybe not. Coon Rapids is probably pretty big. 34 years curling. And when Jody is not curling, she's mom to 2 teen boys. Oh, I'm so sorry. I remember being a teen boy.
I empathize with her. I
Yep.
have a preteen.
Biking, playing with my dog, and enjoying all the Minnesota seasons. And they'll get all 4 there for sure. Say hello to Nolan, Ian, Sapa, and her mom, who's also here curling. How about that?
And what's really nice is it's a woman's handwriting. You can read it. This is a men's event. Good luck with that. Well, I know too many doctors and their handwriting is indecipherable. So. And a beautiful draw.
Oh, a little bounce.
Oh, no.
The crowd at once said, "Oh, great show!"
Oh, there's this little moaning ripple behind us. You know, and that's the challenge. You know, we're looking up, we're looking down here as announcers. We've got 2, we've got the live action, we've got the monitors, and I've done it as a skip. You look up and you're like in your mind, the shot is already made, and you're about to say good shot to the opposition, and it does that, and you're like, I'm so sorry, I thought it was made. And Jen Mogavera has a really excellent chance to bail them out of this end here. If
little crotch double.
Yep, it should go under. Should go under their yellow in the back.
Easily, yep.
Well, it's trying to come up, but I'm not sure that it's going to get all the way where it needs to go.
Nope, it had to come all the way in.
She's in a really lovely position. It's a really good place to be if you can't get what you want.
That's a control rock.
I will say, St. Paul's got some of the neatest socks.
Yeah, they've got matching socks.
They're rainbowy. I love them. Although if they're not wool, I would be very cold. And after the completion of this end, we'll probably go through and update you on action on the other sheets. Seems like a natural breaking point to do so.
Yeah, most teams will be at the 5th inning break.
Of which there is none.
Oh, they have a whole minute.
Oh my God,
Yes.
a whole luxurious minute.
Yes.
What does one do with all that time? Oh, lovely guard. And those are actually, well, overcurled.
I think it overcurled just enough. You can get this with Probably hack
Yep,
weight.
Heck should do it.
This would be for 3.
And we've seen these rocks are coming to a rest, and you think they're going to stop, and oh, it's perfect. And then it just slides that quarter rock more, and you go, not perfect.
You think you need to sweep it, and you don't, because they're gliding.
Oh, yeah, Hack should do it. The rocks are fairly close together. She's not going to lose a lot of energy once she strikes. If she strikes
No,
that top yellow rock, they're fairly close.
Hit a half a rock, you should keep your shooter, and the blue rock should fly.
Yeah, it's just this is one you definitely don't want to overthrow.
That one goes out, and the shooter
moves to the outer 12.
Should only roll out that way. Should stay in play. Nice clean release on this one. Didn't set it out. Don't want to lose it.
Does need to curl. Yep. They are working this hard. They got to get by Sally's guard. They have gotten by.
This looks like a pistol.
And a shot better than we called it.
And it is. Well done. Jen Mogavero with a huge shot here in the 5th end. She's got her team back in the game. They now trail 8-5 at the break with new life.
There's a morale builder shot from the skip. I like making those. I wish I made them more often.
Take a tour around the sheets and see what's happening in our other games.
Okay, we got on sheet 1, we have Cape Cod number 2 over Centerville. Looks like 6-2 after 5. Coming back at 6. On sheet 2, it's Detroit number 1, 5-2 over Composite, Wisconsin. And we're watching our feature game 3, which is St. Paul 8, Charlotte 5, after a great shot from Charlotte Skip. On sheet 4, we have Utica 2. Well, hold on, they're hanging the score, so I'm gonna wait on sheet 4 until they come back to sheet 4 because I know they've got to hang the 5th end. It looks like blue scored. I'm just not sure how much. But sheet 5, which is Nutmeg number 1 over Cape Cod, 7-1 after 6. And on sheet 6, we have Rochester 6 over Mayfield 4. Roger's double checking my work with the with his field glasses.
I'm trying to see who's got hammer on sheet 5. So
sheet 5, Cape Cod has hammer.
Yep.
I've got my new more powerful glasses on today, so I can see distance and see close. And St. Paul's calling for a hit on the yellow rock in the house. And they will remove it and leave the center guard. And Jen Mogera is not going to waste time with another yellow guard. She's going to come right around that blue rock. All right, sheet 4, we're getting a score update. It is 4-3, Utica 2 over Chicago. Looks like we've got a really beautiful shot coming down from Ann. Oh, there's a lovely draw. Just maybe to be very particular, a shade on the deep side. It is slightly behind. More of the rock is behind the tee line than in front of it.
well and truly buried, though.
Definitely very buried. I believe we are on the guard, but we may get a nice, nope, it's too thick for a
was going to say, split here would be absolutely wonderful.
Yep, she's got it.
And sit 2-3 and exposed shot stone. Long way to go in this end.
Shows a normal weight hit here. She motioned. She's motioned to her hip, so she's looking. Yeah, looking for bumper weight.
Charlotte's getting caught a bit here on the release, just a little in out on some of these releases. We'll go over the top just.
Got a little fortunate with that. That in front rock had come up another inch or two. It would have.
In the quarter inch, they might have caught.
Yeah.
Shot stone.
Not much. Oh, this rock is breaking very, very hard. Oh, she's kind of down a little bit down weight on this.
Yeah, just kind of through range weight. It's going to get a nice roll.
That's a very nice roll.
Howie, our second, says we need matching socks.
I can do that. I can do that. That's what Amazon is for.
It's just they can't be wool. If they're wool, I need like a barrel of cortisone.
Oh, allergies, huh?
Oh yeah, my skin would not like that.
I'll just have to get a liner. Oh, here comes a lovely draw. Oh, that's wonderful. He's got a good angle on that. Challenging to remove, certainly.
I don't think they're moving that very far. It's
no, they are not.
Mostly buried, and it's got some backing.
This looks pretty nice if they get it by. And they did.
Nice little freeze.
Oh, that's a nice. Looks like we got a big white shot coming down. It's just got, I think, a little full on that room.
You're trying to double out the blues?
Not sure. He's just trying to tap things around. Just like I said earlier, it looked nice, and then it just slid just another couple of feet. You could probably even come slightly behind that blue rock if you absolutely had to. You'd still be shot.
Well, I'm not sure you can get shot drawing above it.
I don't think you can.
You get second. They're already second.
I think this rock looks a little strong. It is coming down though, pretty nice.
It's curling hard.
The weight's coming off, absolutely.
It's going to go back button.
The weight was perfect, just needed to be another half a foot to our left.
It's fairly well behind the guard, but there's plenty of room to get to it.
She thinks she's a little tight on the line here. But her weight's up, which may help it.
Good sweeping to get that
good
by.
Sweep. Good sweep. However, it does give...
Yeah, Charlotte can hit and roll back to
does
pretty
give,
much where they were.
Yeah, I can roll pretty nice.
And you don't want to overthrow this. I think a solid 10 here, not much more than that, maybe 10 and a
I was
half.
going to say 10 and a half.
Get a nice little roll.
I think probably getting your rock in a good position might be a little more important than removing theirs fully. I
Yep.
mean, you need to move it out of shot. I mean, that is a gimme. But do you need to take it completely out?
Yeah, you just need to get a good roll here. You need to control it with the broom. This is pretty full. Here it comes, though. Not enough.
No. I think this is the first hit that Sally's had to throw.
You may be right. I don't remember one.
They've all been draws or
Yep.
guards.
Yep.
I don't think she's tapped anything back either. I think they've all been just straight draws.
Well, she can bring the weight.
This looks pretty good. Oh, I thought it was going to curl a little more than it did.
You still got the hit and roll.
Yep. Definitely desperately needed here. If you can steal this end, you're down 2. That's not bad.
Manageable.
Right. You almost might be tempted to throw like back 8, hit and roll. Back 8, back 12.
Yep. I mean, you got to get a good roll here. You want to roll
Yeah.
completely under that blue.
Well, that's a pretty steep angle. That's like a thin quarter.
Well, you can't throw a lot of weight then, right?
Right, right.
Because
Well,
you got to get behind. Unless you're going to play the double. There's a flat double here.
Yeah.
So if you do 3/4 of rock and come over here, you don't need to remove that from play. You just need to push it.
Move it aside. Yep.
That's there for sure. You have to be able to throw some weight.
Right.
You're going to catch the back side of this blue. So you're going to, it's kind of like the old Z shot, right? Something like that. This one's going to scoot out.
That way.
That's definitely there. But that would require pretty solid hit weight.
That would require bumper, definitely.
More than that, I'd want to throw 9.
Yeah.
To get that little Z
yeah,
shot.
Bumper may not move the second one enough.
Yep.
But she's close to it.
It's coming hard.
They gotta go really hard for this.
She took the weight off.
Oh, too thin.
Took a little too much weight off that. She's still second stone though. Two here is huge.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the deuce.
She's trying to see if she can come to it. And honestly, for blue, I think it's not a I think it's a risk that's worth looking at.
One's locked up, right? So they're up 3.
Yeah, you take multiple here. You take more than 2. It's
Game done.
It's certainly not looking good if you're yellow. And if you throw.
You can hardly see any of this yellow rock.
Honestly, sometimes those are the best rocks to throw at because there's nothing to distract you. Some of the best rocks I've thrown, shots I've thrown, I haven't been able to see what I'm throwing at.
I don't know, my view is pretty simple here. They're up 3 already. If you get 2 here, I think it's already lights out.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
what I don't want to do is just take 1 here. I think that still leaves a glimmer of hope for Charlotte.
The weight she's been throwing, I think you can get to this. And if you're curling this, if you've got that much confidence in your weight, I figure now, 6 end, not a bad time to try for it.
The last rock, 6th ends here, looking for a little tap out for a bundle.
They gotta get by this blue guard. I'm not sure they think they're by.
Do they have any of the yellow?
Yes, they do.
And look at that. What a shot. Didn't know if it was there. It's only for 2 maybe.
Maybe 3, hard to know.
Gonna be close. I think it's only 2.
The hard way to get your 2.
Well, it was a good run at it. It was almost 3. Needed to come up, another 1/4 inch?
I'm not sure how much they got by that top blue
Didn't get by much.
And she couldn't throw much less weight because she wouldn't have moved. I mean, she barely moved to the back 8. So I think she probably got as much out of that shot as I think anyone could.
Either way, it's a deuce, and St. Paul's now up 5 after 6. Puts them in a very strongly controlling position. With 4 ends to play. Let's take a quick tour around the rink here.
Right, we'll start with sheet 1, which is Cape Cod 2 versus Centerville. Cape Cod was just forced to another, they stole another single, so they're up 7-2. On sheet 2, I noticed they were having a double fest over there at the end of their last end. And Composite Wisconsin took 4. So they are now up 6-5 over Detroit 1. Our feature sheet, St. Paul 10, Charlotte 5. Sheet 4, I believe Chicago stole 1. So the game is tied at 4-all. On sheet 4, yeah, it's easy. 4-all on 4.
Yeah, 4's wild.
On sheet 5, it looks like Nutmeg stole yet another single, and they're up 8-1 over Cape Cod. On sheet 6, it looks like they're about to hang a score. Or not. It looks like they didn't hang. They didn't hang the 6 end yet, and it's still 6-4. Rochester over Mayfield.
All right, that brings us up to date.
Yeah, sheet 2, there are a bunch of friendly little biters.
They were all around the outside, and I
Yeah.
think they had to measure one. So
Yeah, there were 3 for sure, and there was a red in the back, and there was a blue on the top, and they had to measure for that.
those darn flibs.
And here's a lovely draw by Ann to the top 8, right behind that blue guard. And Sally's got to decide. Nope, she's coming. She said, make it better.
Uh-oh. the old infamous wrong handle.
Oof. We've all done that. And that's one of the things about, when we call these games and we watch them, I don't think there's one of us that doesn't understand what happens when it doesn't go well. Because you curl long enough, you can remember, oh, I've done that. Oh, I remember that. Oh. Oh, I'm still okay. We got an update on. Nope, they hung 6 on 6. So it's now 6-5. Mayfield still 1 in 6. So it's now 6-5, Rochester over Mayfield.
So it looks like they did score 3. That last end. So St. Paul leads by 6. So Sally Augustin comes through the shot. We're not sure it was there.
Apparently
it was.
I said it was there. I wasn't sure it was there for more than 2. But it's certainly it was a fun, it was.
They got by I think, as close as they could get by,
Yeah.
so.
I just, it's like, to me, those shots are curling shots. You're really taking the movement of the rock, the curl that the sport's named for, and you're coming to a rock that you can barely see and you're trying to move it. And to me, that just epitomizes, the sport and a great shot that you can make like that. I find it very cool.
Skip knowing there was enough curl there to move that stone.
Exactly.
As it certainly was pretty much fully buried.
Oh, yeah.
But nicely managed weight, just kind of back 8, back 12 weight was just enough to move that yellow stone to count 3.
And stay as a counter.
And had to keep your shooter too, so you couldn't throw a lot of weight at it.
We had some games this past weekend where, one of the big distinctions was our hits, our shooter stayed. The opponents made their hits, their shooter rolled out.
Yep.
And, it happens a couple times. They do, but interest over ends over time, it starts to compound.
Well, it comes back to that, being able to throw intermediate weights.
Right. Sometimes, it's nice to throw that, that Mark Nichols, Mark Kennedy, let's blow stuff up with a 6-second hit weight. They are fun.
Don't need it much in club curling.
No, you don't. But it is, when you need it, it's nice to have it. But of course, you also have to be accurate with it, which Nichols and Kennedy and numerous other curlers are.
And they play on ice that's a little more predictable than some volunteer maintained club ice, so we need to add that into the fray.
Right, lots of variables to.
We have played some of those guys on less than ideal ice, and they're not nearly as good.
Oh yeah.
We played the Harndens in a summer spiel in New Liskeard on ice that could be charitably called
challenging,
almost curlable, but a lot of fun. And they don't make nearly as many shots on that kind of ice as they do on the fresh prepped ice.
Yeah,
they were very fun to play, though. They were very nice.
Yeah, the great curling ice, a great leveler,
Yep.
I mean, let me tell you, I mean, we have I'm actually, Roger and I are actually part of the ice crew here. It's a volunteer organization. We have many hats. Um, you know, and especially in U.S. clubs, where we have a lot of volunteers who do maintain. I always try to make it a point to, we thank all the volunteers, the ice crew. It's necessary in some ways, a thankless job, because everybody has something to say, you know. But I've played on some really curious ice, and I will say that the skill in ice reading, it's a skill, it's a very lovely shot, that when you have less than ideal conditions, really can help you when you understand what the ice is doing. I played at a club where they had playing field many years ago, and unfortunately they're part of the metro area. Power is always a little exciting and dicey when you get to these overbuilt, overexpanded areas. And they lost power a few weeks before their last Bonspiel, and they were just able to save it. And however, when I went down there, it made for some very interesting conditions. And they're going to get this by. Oh, this could be really nice.
They get by the second one? They're
oh,
not by the second one.
But they did push it to the back 4, and they pushed themselves into second shot in a really nice location. Actually, the yellow rock is actually a better position now. It's difficult to remove.
But St. Paul's still shot in the back with shot in hand here.
Ice reading, once you figure it out, is a wonderful skill to have. It can make or break your team.
Usually the team that figures it out first has a significant advantage, that's for sure.
And one of the curlers here once told me something: if you see it, it's there. And it's funny, what you expect to see and what you do see sometimes don't agree.
For sure. This is going to come deep.
Yes, it will. It is second shot, but there is a bit of a pocket.
There is. Well, you could push that blue that was just thrown back just a smidge and roll on top.
On top of that, yep.
Of course, that leaves an out for St. Paul.
Right, but now you have your error. Your margin of error is a touch heavy. You can manage it if it's a touch heavy. If it comes up short, you don't have a lot of outs. And I don't believe she's heavy here.
If you drop this on the top 4 full, buried, you have a chance to chase those blues off later in the end.
This looks a little bit light. It's really curling.
I'm not sure they're past the back one.
They are.
They just got by. They're not past the third one.
They're just at the top of the house. Yeah. When you see the break happen, when you see it break that far from the house, that weight's coming off pretty fast.
So now a chance for St. Paul to pretty much close this path down.
Yeah, if she puts this on the top 4 in front of those blue rocks, it's gonna be tough. Pretty good. Just they need to wait for it to curl. And here we hear a wait only call.
Sweepers don't want to touch it.
And there it is. It's a good throw. However, it is behind. Most of that rock is behind T line. That leaves Jen Guevara an out. She can either freeze on this, she'll be shot. Slightly to the inside, probably pretty good. She's looking at She's looking at the raise, the outturn raise here.
I think it's too early for that.
I'm not a fan.
I think you can get to the inside of the stone that was just thrown.
Absolutely. There's a lot of curl
And
there.
even if you can move some stones back a little bit and hit and roll toward the button area, you might have a chance to score a deuce here.
Challenge with this shot here, the issue I have is that if you make it, you will open up the draw path on this side.
Yep.
And you're gonna roll off, and you're gonna leave Sally an outturn draw, and I think she's made just about every draw.
And you got them caught behind T-line here, so you get, even if you freeze to this stone on the left-hand side, I think you're still in great shape. As long as you freeze just a little bit on the center line side, you can easily get there.
You know, what do we say? You know, a plan is one thing, and execution, of course, is a beast all its own. It's really curling now. I'm not sure she's by that yellow guard.
They're gonna wreck the guard for sure.
Yeah.
The weight was nice. Wrong ice.
Actually, the weight was
maybe a little light.
I would argue it's a touch light on that. And unfortunately, this gives a chance for Sally to throw another in-turn draw instead of 4. Yep.
She's not even looking at top 4. She's looking at buried. Not just bite the top 4, but just bury another one.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Gonna go aggressive here. No risk.
She cleared the, I mean, the guards didn't even come into play on her first shot.
No.
They weren't even an issue. So you take half a foot, a few inches less ice, you're probably coming right around. Yeah, I can remember the games when I had perfect draw weight, because there weren't that many of them.
Oh, a little tight on this one.
It is. Weight's coming right off here. I think she's on one of the guards. There it is.
Well, the in-turn draw is there.
Actually, the in-turn draw, it's really tight. Because you're going to have to get that outer blue rock. Shouldn't come into play.
I don't think that rock that Sally just threw is going to be in the way at all.
It's what I call those eye candies. Not in the way, but you're seeing them.
Well, Jen's going to go for this angle raise again.
Well, this is against 3. This is hammer rock against 3.
If you don't stick it on high side, it's really against 4.
Yes. Yeah, because this is a 4th counter here.
Yeah, so she's raising. She's raising number 4, yeah?
Yep.
And this one's not bending.
Nope, hit the guard.
And that'll be a steal of 3.
So, yeah.
14-5 now for St. Paul. That's after 7 ends. We discovered this morning that my little scoreboard app doesn't go past 15.
Oh dear.
We did have a 17-2 game earlier today.
I will say that I want to say it was my semifinal on the way to the D event many years ago. we were on the St. Paul side of one of these scores, and the St. Paul club, our scoreboard was go to 18. I want to say so, in St. Paul. If you're listening, I apologize for not remembering precisely, but I don't believe their scoreboards went like to 12 or 14, somewhere in there. And we wrapped the board, and my third was like, where do I put it? I'm like, I don't know. I've never done this before, and I've never done it since. I'll never do it again. But it happens. We've all been on either side of that, and it's always a little challenging.
So to go back to the beginning, or you just come back from the edge? I don't know.
We went from the beginning.
Okay.
You know,
I've never been in that situation either way, so.
It was very strange because I'm like, oh. So we can take this moment to update the sheets, because we've got all the sheets here after, I think everybody's played 7 here. On sheet 1, Cape Cod 2 has stolen yet another end, and they're up 8-2 on Centerville. And Detroit, number 1, took 2 in the 7th. So they're up 7-6 over Composite Wisconsin, which has become a bit of a battle. And on our feature sheet, we've got 14-5, St. Paul over Charlotte. On sheet 4, Utica 2 was forced for 1 in the 7th end. They're up 5-4 over Chicago. Sheet 5, we've got Nutmeg number 1 over Cape Cod, who looks like they were forced to 1. They're 8-2 after 7. Hold on, let me see. Yep, there it is. And on sheet 6, Rochester number 1 was also forced for 1, and they're up 7-5 over Mayfield.
Okay, got some close ones out there. Future game is 14-5. And Charlotte got a good start again this end, getting around the center guard. Oh, almost a perfect freeze.
Right around. That was so close.
I thought they were by.
Like another come around. You did it so nice, I'd like you to do that again. Fine. Sweepers indicate they think it's a little heavy. I'm not so sure. I think it's on the guard right now.
Coming down. Don't want to crack the guard.
They're cracking the guard.
Well, that weight was perfect.
Oh yeah, that's sweeper's weight right there. Absolutely. Oh, she's calling for a raise. This is what we call an interesting B plan. We won't raise, we'll come through the hole. And get shot rock out of it.
A little chap and roll to sit shot.
She's calling. Okay.
I'm trying to double these off. Oh, that's very tight.
Actually, no. She called it on the edge of the rock, so she's actually very wide on that. She's actually full on the shot.
Ah.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at the broom myself. This could be really good. Oh.
Roll for second now.
Actually, it's a nice roll. Roll for third.
Third, yeah. Don't mind that at all. Staying 2-3.
Nice roll. Yeah, she actually, she called the out turn on the edge of the rock. Yeah. It was a little, I didn't expect to see that.
No.
That broom.
That was
I'm looking because I know our ice, and that broom is
looks strange.
very
Yes.
strange. Oh, St. Paul saying let's get rid of some yellow. Whereas other clubs they'd be red. We like to call this the Visine shot. Get the red out here. Looks like it's right straight through. Yep. If you can roll under here.
Hit and roll and stack them, right? One
Nice.
behind the other. Okay, that one was narrow.
Yeah, that one was, she was a little inside. Looking for an alternate shot, which there really isn't one. She's hoping it just goes on by. Oh, dear. Sally's looking for a guard on these. It looks a little strong for a guard. I think she's coming right in.
They're going to get this little chip and roll again.
I'm thinking this looks pretty T-line-ish. Actually, she's on the yellow. It's a little lighter than I thought. Must be slowing up.
Well, it's hitting 3.
That's a great shot.
They got the 4-foot surrounded. Ay, ay, ay.
I'm wondering if you can risk the tap on your own yellow. But the problem is they tap back in, so it's probably too soon for that. And you really can't touch that blue one anywhere high side that was just thrown, because then you lose your yellow. She might have a piece of the back one here. Oh, that does help. And this one, the skip says, this time I really want a guard. I had a girl with a young woman who's now, who's since moved away and moved on with life, and she was my advice, and I'd asked for, I said, I'm gonna throw a guard. She's like, great. I throw it to the top 4. And she's like, what is that, a hat guard? I said, yes, it's a hat guard.
There you go.
And then she said, and I said, I'm really gonna throw in this time, and I do the same thing. Throw over nuts. She's tapping this up, yeah.
Coming right in. They're going to be hard to remove.
Well, actually, if you can get that on the inside, you might get a nice roll for playing that blue.
Yep, double those out and roll on top.
I'm thinking, to me, that would be ideal.
So hit that roll there. Try to double those 2 out.
And then it'll be sticking out enough, you might be able to do something with it on your next if Sally lets you.
You're going to have to move that rock off the 4-foot, I think, to score.
I think so. And the challenge here is, even if you do draw behind, blue is they've got weapons ready to use against you. Wish I could see this when I was skipping.
No help.
Yeah, that actually makes the draw a little harder there on that side. Not by much, really.
You tap up their middle blue.
They got there with the draw. Should be able to be tapped up, even if you come off your outer blue.
Yep. Just going to tap that one up to sit 2.
And she's calling for a push on this rock, hoping to move it, make it curl a little more with the sweeping. But it's lined up very well.
Yeah, the angles are great. They got a little diamond of stones.
And yellow really doesn't want to play with that because it does nothing good for yellow, unfortunately. I don't know, I think the corner in-off is looking pretty tasty right about now. Yeah, it looks like Jen's gonna go for the wide out turn draw. You should be able to get shot rock half 4.
Yep, I think so.
With this line. It's gonna take some good weight management and vicing nerves of steel to believe that it's gonna curl and you're gonna get by. Quite has the legs to get there, but the line is looking very promising. is going for the tap again.
He's going to tap this outside rock.
Yep, she's going to tap the top.
Push that in for 3.
I think she's tapping the top of the diamond, yes. I would be thinking of sweeping this because it's going to cut. Well, it's still only 2 blue, I believe.
Yeah, it didn't improve anything.
No, it's just a little light, maybe a little inside.
Well, we've got the sheet perfectly divided in half. We have all yellow rocks on the left.
And blue rocks from the center off to the right.
As we look at the house view. As we look down the sheet, the view, yellow's played all the rocks on the right side, blue's played all the rocks on the left side. It looks like one of these funny games where you draw a card out of the hat and it says, only your rocks score from the left side of the sheet.
Right. Oh.
Oh dear.
The sound of Velcro, I believe we're shaking hands, I think, the other side. Yes, we are shaking hands.
So it's a wrap, it's a final. St. Paul 16, Charlotte 5. Let's do one final wrap up of all the sheets before we sign off from our feature game.
All right, we've got on sheet 1, they've not hung the 8th end. On sheet 2, it is tied up at 7. Composite Wisconsin was forced to 1 in the 8th. Sheet 4, they have blue has yet to hang. It looked like they were sitting 2. I can't be sure until they hang the score. Looks like 5 also conceded. I would say that would have been nutmeg.
Nutmeg is a final.
That would be a final. And on sheet 6, Mayfield is forced 1 in the 8th, so that's 7-6 Mayfield.
All right, well that concludes our coverage of draw 3 of this USWCA National Bonspiel. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, I think at 7:30 a.m.
I will not be here. I will
at
be on
an
my way
ungodly
to work.
hour, but we'll be here and streaming a game for you. And thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the game.
Yes, definitely thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon at 5, I think. Roger will have other very able assisting until then. Oh, I was right on sheet 4. Chicago did take their 2.
All righty. So we will see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. You can always check out the latest results at the uticacurlingclub.org on our website, and you can check out our streaming schedule at youtube.com. Thanks a lot. See you later.